Did you hear what Rick Bowness had
I
to say
couldn't
after the game?
believe it. He shredded them.
Okay, here, let's give this a listen before we chime in.
No questions? Good.
Just overall thoughts on that one.
Overall thoughts? I'm so disappointed and disgusted right now. That's my thoughts.
Where does the disgust come from?
Pardon me?
Where does the disgust come from?
No pushback. But it's the same crap we saw in February. It was. That's why so as soon as we were challenging for first place and teams were coming after us, we had no pushback. This series, we had no pushback. Their better players were so much better than ours, it's not even close.
Feels like you've been holding these feelings on for a bit. Is it just out of tonight's game, or finally wanted to release that?
It started back in January and February.
What is it about this team's leadership core or the top end players? We've talked all.
We got to push back. There's got to be a pushback. There's got to be pride. You got to be able to push back when things aren't going your way. We had no pushback. Their better players were so much better than ours tonight. They deserved to win. They were the better team in the regular season. They were the better team in this series. Anything else? Good. Thanks.
That's how I'm going to end the show today. Anything else? Good. I'm out. That is going to be a hell of an offseason. I picked them to beat the Golden Knights, to be fair. I thought that was a core that would, and I saw all the things Rick Bowness did in the regular season. That team looked wildly uncompetitive, wildly disinterested through the last 3 months of the season. But I thought, guys like Scheifele, Wheeler, I thought they would crank it up and have a little bit of pride come playoff time. They didn't, and they got thoroughly beat down. 4 straight losses after winning game 1, and now they head into an offseason where Kevin Cheveldayoff has to make some decisions. Connor Hellebuck's heading into the last year of his deal. Blake Wheeler, Mark Scheifele are heading into the last years of their deal. I think Wheeler and Scheifele are as good as gone. I think you can trade them right now. I think Pierre-Luc Dubois is already a Montreal Canadian in all likelihood. I think that team's going to blow it up this summer.
How many years have we said this Winnipeg Jets team should be better? Like, almost feels like
since they became the Jets again.
But it's wild, though, because they were pushing for first in like January. And then the collapse over the last back half of the season has been spectacular.
Yeah.
They have arguably one of the most talented rosters in the league.
Man,
is that fair to say?
Which top 6 can go toe-to-toe with Wheeler, Connor, Scheifele, Ehlers, Dubois? Like, that is unbelievable.
And even like Niederreiter's
good. Lowry's a good player. They had Perfetti for a good chunk of the year.
Yeah.
But I just think Mark Scheifele's not a leader. I would not want that guy on my team.
No.
I think you can dupe another GM into giving you a lot for a 40-goal scorer, though.
Yep. I think you could too. I mean, he's obviously very talented, but I'm with you. Mark Scheifele is on his heel run right now, and he's just not the player he was a few years ago, which is so strange to say. But you look at that stat sheet. I know Aaron just had this up, but Neil Pionk was your leading point getter in the series. Like that says everything you need to know about it, right? Like, it's just, I don't get it. But it's interesting too, because Rick Bowness has took the Dallas Stars to the Stanley Cup Finals, whose team was significantly less talented than what this team was.
Yep.
And took him to the finals. Obviously, didn't win. The Tampa Bay Lightning won. But this Winnipeg team should have been so much better. Like, Rick Bowness knows how to win hockey games. He's a very good coach. I think it's interesting, too, that Blake Wheeler was stripped of his captaincy as well.
Yep.
To start the season. And it just kind of, now it all just comes around where it's like this leadership core is poor.
Yeah.
And, I think Kevin Cheveldayoff, what's his lifeline like now?
Well, that's
it's been a long time of this team doing essentially. Have they been to the Western Conference Finals once?
Yeah, but there's always talk that he's tied to ownership there, right? And that like they love him, they'll never fire him. I don't hate him as a GM, but
I don't either.
I think you're going to see out of Dubois, Dubois, Scheifele, Wheeler, Hellebuck, 3 of those guys are gone.
I think eventually the talent goes out the window if you don't have the character.
Yep.
Would you be surprised if all those guys are gone?
No. I think you need to go to Connor Hellebuck. And again, he's an American playing in Winnipeg, as is Wheeler. I think you need to go to Hellebuck specifically and say, are you going to sign an 8-year contract with us? And if he says no, you're dumb if you don't trade him this offseason. Because what are you getting for Hellebuck? People are like, would you trade Campbell for him? Well, the Jets wouldn't do that. So
what a contract. They have so many good contracts. Hellebuck makes just over $6 million. Josh Norris has just over $6 million for however long that one is. Like Kyle Connor, isn't he? Yeah, $7 million. Like,
you could
crazy.
rebuild this team so quickly and so right. If one more year of Hellebuck at $6 million, if you kept half of that, what would the Toronto Maple Leafs give you for a full season of Connor Hellebuck at $3 million?
You might be able to get Matthew Nice.